Wow, what an absolutely amazing season. Not only did we avoid relegation, but we finished 11th, solid mid-table. Now let's see what we can do in this transfer window in order to get our mid-table Chesham United team potentially in Europe in the next year or so. Welcome to Taskmaster FC episode number 66. So excited to have you here today. We just finished an amazing season in the Premier League, managing to pull off an 11th place finish, just 2 points behind Chelsea and 1 point ahead of Everton. And yeah, it's been a really successful year. Despite my moans and groans in the live episodes, it has been a very fruitful and successful year. Sophie Willen wins the Golden Boot for most goals in the Premier League with 24, and we are trying to build a squad that is going to be Europe ready. Now, take a look at this. We've got quite a bit of work to do in the off-season, including trying to pick up Sophie Willen. She has not been wanting to sign for us. I don't know exactly what I can do to get her to sign, but that is a striker that is going to be sorely missed, especially with those 24 goals. So we would need to get a striker in order to fill in the gap, so to speak, that Sophie Willen would leave if she does not come back. In terms of transfer budget, we've got £63 million to spend, and I've got another £300,000 in wage budget. So we've got some room to make some moves here. If we actually go back and look at the season in review, let's go ahead and do that. It's down here somewhere. Initial budgets. Did I get my season review? Here's my season review. Let's view the season in review and see how well we did. Look at all the confetti despite not actually winning anything. The new arrivals. We had a ton of signings this season. So Sophie Willen, Julian Clary, who managed to appear in one game. Bubba, big signing this summer. Played 45 games for us. Was absolutely fantastic coming in from Bradford City. Morgana Robinson played quite a few games. Steve Pemberton, Kyle Smith, Bino. I mean, you go down the list here. Jack D, Hugh Dennis, John Robbins, Jamali Maddox, Mel Bracewell, Paul Senna, Munya Chihuahua, Concetta Caristo. Tons of individuals making huge contributions to our club this season. It has been a fantastic season. Particularly players who went out. Sue Perkins went to Queen's Park Rangers, £9.25 million. Only played one game. Catherine Ryan out to Barnet towards the end of the season. Ursula Carlson, 32 games for Farnsborough. Johnny Vegas at Chateauroux. Probably not pronouncing that right. Sally Phillips is the Rangers B goalkeeper, and Laura Daniel to Swansea City. Let's look at the season results, and obviously comfortably mid-table is absolutely fantastic considering we were expected to finish absolutely dead last in the Premier League. So very thrilled to have that. We have 100% home attendance, which it should be the case because we only have 5,000 seats in our stadium. I'd like to see a 0 at the end of that. 51,000 fans would be absolutely lovely. FA Cup, we were competitive, got to the 4th round. Pretty happy with that. Carabao Cup made it all the way to the semifinal. Very competitive in the Carabao Cup. Sad to lose that semifinal second round match, or semifinal second match, 4-0. Not really a chance here. Almost remember big wins over Brighton Hove Albion, 4-1 win. Match to remember, a big 4-3 victory over Chelsea. And our goal of the season was scored, unfortunately, in a 3-2 loss to Aston Villa. Finances, big changes this year. We've got a club reputation boost, which is nice. We now have 3 stars here, so it says that might help attract a higher caliber player to the club. Maybe that is what Sophie Willen needs to, get the move on and get us over the hump here. Lots of sponsorship revenue. Broadcast revenue went up by £114 million, which is lovely. Corporate hospitality, prize money, all is good. We've sold 13,000 shirts. That's awesome. How do we line up? Well, pretty straightforward. There were quite a few players that we ended up subbing in and out. It wasn't like we just had one set lineup this season, which is good. Just means we have subs that we can bring in that can actually go through and make a difference. I didn't win any awards other than the Sky Bet Championship Manager of the Season last year. I'm 46 years old. Good Lord, I am really getting up there. Record breakers this season: Sophie Willen, most player of the matches; John Kearns, most league goals, 81 goals, must have scored at some point this season; and Sue Perkins, our biggest transfer fee ever received. We made some history. We looked sharp in the middle, and few expected this outcome, but we have reaped the rewards of a mid-table finish. I'm not sure what that means, but proud that we've reaped that reward, so to speak. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, so what we're going to do, I promise you, I'm going to start doing this just slowly but surely. Each individual signing I make, I'm going to show you what it looks like throughout the process. Any players that we get rid of, I'll talk about as well. Any players we bring in, I will do this one little bit at a time. So stay tuned, because I've got some big signings I'm hoping to make, including Sophie Willen. Fingers crossed I can get that $1.1 million 1.1 million pound deal done, because that is a bargain of a century to bring in a Premier League leading goal scorer for 1.1 million pounds. So fingers crossed I can get that done before she ends up going back to, is it Stuttgart? Yeah, Stuttgart. So fingers crossed we can make that happen, but I will bring you back here in just a little bit to show you what I do in the transfer window with my 68 million pound budget. Oh, it's so nice. Instead to bring you back, we have some stadium expansion plans that were announced. We're going to get 2,500 more seats. Oh, how exciting is that? We're going to have 7,500 seats in our stadium. Meanwhile, we'll be ground sharing with Watford at Vicarage Road. Now, I don't see why we can't just use Vicarage Road, because we'll sell that out in a heartbeat. But yeah, we also got an improved youth category rating, which is pretty exciting. We have a youth recruitment improvement that was accepted. Training facilities are going to be improved. Youth facilities are going to be improved. This team is on the up and up. Stay tuned for first signing of the transfer window. Looks to be a good one. Ian Edmonds is going to join us from Tottenham Hotspur, 24-year-old winger. Regular starter, $43K per week, so a little bit of a hike in pay here for somebody I would normally want. But looking at the release clauses, this seems to be a pretty good player. So we're going to go ahead and agree to that and see what Ian Edmonds can bring to the team here in just a couple moments. Maybe. Joins the team immediately? No, I guess it's something that's going to go through. Yeah, it's going to go through a little bit later. Never mind. So, Ian Edmonds, I will show you the deets once I get them. First player in. Hopefully many more to come. Second signing of our transfer window, we picked up Ed Gamble from Lecce, Italian soccer club, of 45,000 pounds a week. Important player. Looks to be a very good center back, so we will go ahead and accept that offer and move on. Hope that Ed Gamble, yeah, that's exactly what I want to see there. At least 3.5 stars for our team. So I'll keep seeing you more stuff when we keep moving forward. Bring it back for just a little bit of an update here. I can't sign anyone. It's been nearly impossible to get any signings so far. We keep finding these amazing young players, and yet I can't seem to get anybody to sign because our club is not of a high enough stature for some of these players to want to be able to sign for us. So I'll like, for example, here, make an offer. It's already accepted, but I've been told many times that this is not the place that Sophie Willen wants to be. So I'm just continually working through trying to sign some new players. We've got a few come in. And I'll give them some names in the game here in just a little bit, so that way I can show you some of the players that we have brought in. But in the meantime, just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. We still have plenty of money left to spend in this transfer window, so fingers crossed we can find a couple of good players to sign. What I really need is a striker, and so that's what I'm really, really searching for. So the next couple days I'll get some scouting reports back, and we'll see if we can get anybody signed to this team to help us push higher up the table. We'll see you soon. We'll bring you back for just a couple of signings here. There are some youth players that are in here that I'm going to keep nameless for now, but if we do end up putting them in the game itself, I will give them names. They're just starting to run out over time. We did bring in Mark Watson from Universidad Católica, 1.8 million. Looks to be a very good attacking right midfielder. Very good stats here. 3.5 star credibility. Will slot right into the first team. Very, very happy with that youth signing. In addition to that, we also brought in Josh Thompson from Real Madrid B. Again, looks to be a very good center midfielder here. 3.5 current star ability. Again, complementing our squad. We're not really finding any superstars or anything like that, but we do have some players that we are trying to bring in. So, yeah, things are looking up. Things are looking up. We've got some time. We've still got plenty of money left to spend, even though we're way overspending our wage budget. We can fix that. Just adjust that real quick. Boop. There we go. See, plenty of wage budget left. 2 more signings, and yes, one I did splash the cash for. Let's introduce our new guys on the team. Oh, see what I did there? Guy Williams, attacking midfielder here. 3-star current ability. Looks to be quite good. Again, 6'4". Love the height of Guy Williams, and should be a good addition to our midfield. Our even better addition is our very first ever wonder kid, Guy Montgomery. 46 million pound evaluation here. 4-star current ability. I mean, looks to be even better. Should be great at controlling the midfield. Definitely slots right into the first team. 20-year-old Argentinian from Liverpool, and just to prove, wonder kid. Oh, so excited. Even though they say he needs a new club. He just got here, but regardless. So we've got quite a few players in. Transfer budget a little bit depleted here. We still have 32 million pounds to spend. I want to splash the cash on a striker. I think that is the one piece we definitely need to really make sure that we at least reach the heights of last season and hopefully improve on it. We've got a lot of really good young talent that's in this squad. Yeah, I'm trying to offload a couple players at the same time, some players that are down here that we're trying to get rid of, trying to send some players out on loan just to really make sure that the squad is shaped up appropriately for the upcoming season, which is sooner rather than later. It's July 6th. Got a little bit of time to bring in some players, but I will send my scouts out, try to find a willing striker who's willing to come into the squad, and fingers crossed we can get a good one. We'll see you soon. You may notice a slight jump cut that is here, and that is due to the fact that I had a massive power outage for a couple of hours and thought I had completely lost all of my transfer window footage. In fact, that's not the case. I'm actually really, really excited about it at this point in time. But I lost about a month of the transfer window, but I want you to see exactly where we ended up because we had some transfers in, we had some transfers out. We've got quite a new look squad, and we've got some players that we really need to try to sell as they just don't seem to fit in our plans anymore. I think we've actually done some really good transfer business, so I'm going to go over to transfers, and we're going to look at our transfer history. And I can't remember where I left you off here. I gave a couple of players some names in the game simply because I feel like I'm going to actually utilize them. So one of the key things that I noticed is Bubba leaving. We had actually had a couple of players leave. Arlo Hanlon ended up going to Sheffield Wednesday for £525,000. Carlos Saldariaga went to Motherwell on loan, not a name in the game yet because this individual has not played for us at this point in time. But the big loss here is Bubba, and I did not realize that Bubba had a £7.5 million release clause. And so Bubba actually went to Aston Villa for £7.5 million. So I was in need of a new goalkeeper, signed one, Doc Brown, which I'll show you here in just a moment, but decided to give the Manchester United youngster that we signed in a name in the game. So Tofinga Fepuliai. Tofinga, I think is just what we're going to go with. I apologize to any Teredo Mari speakers that are out there, but this is going to be our backup goalkeeper. Looks to be quite good and has a real opportunity to grow. 2.5-star current ability. Overall, pretty decent. But let's look at some of the other players that we brought in towards the end of the transfer window here. So the first one, and again, our first wonder kid that is here. I can't remember if I introduced you to this wonder kid or not. I think I might have. It's Guy Montgomery. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have, but if not, we'll just reintroduce these guys. So Guy Williams, free transfer in from San Sebastian, 2.5-star current ability, decent player. We could probably get a little bit better here. But again, Guy Montgomery here, our first true full-on wonder kid. Pretty excited about that. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure I've shown this to you already, but still, we signed 3 more players, brought into the club. I told you I was going to bring in some strikers, and we brought in a pair of Sarahs in order to do that. So the first one here, Sarah Kendall, 3.5-star current ability, Argentinian, looks to be pretty good with dribbling, finishing, first touch, passing not so good, but is going to be one of our 2 main strikers so far this season. I'm still committed to that 4-3-2-1, or 4-2-3-1 rather. Still committed to that, so fingers crossed that will be something that we can utilize. And then got a bargain here, I think, for Sarah Milliken, who looks to be quite good, only 18 years old, already in the Danish national team. This is a player that I think you could build a team around, and this could really, really grow into something magical. So, fingers crossed that Sarah Milliken here is going to do some fantastic work. And then again, I needed a new goalkeeper. I brought in Doc Brown, another 3.5-star starter, real bargain for £3.7 million. Not sure if this is a wonder kid or not. No, but could be the next Petr Cech. And I remember him. He was quite a Chelsea player. So that being said, I feel like we've done quite a lot of good during this transfer window. We've brought in a lot of players. Kind of look at the squad at the moment. To me, honestly, a little bit on the bloated side. I think that there are some players that we can get rid of. And if I actually go and look at our training, our squad tactics, that's what I'm looking for. Tactics, goodness gracious. Tactics here. I've got a pretty decent squad, but look at all these other players here that just do not fit in the squad at the moment. I've had to unregister Haley Sproul, Emma City. They're going to be on their way out. Aaron Chen I put up as well, even though I had to give him a new contract because the squad was frustrated that I wouldn't give him one, and he wanted to be an important player. I'm like, I got players that are far better than you, my friend. But yeah, we've got a lot of really good players in here. And you know what? I'm actually going to Is that the only place Guy Williams can play? Yeah. That looks a little better. Actually, you know what? Josh Thompson, maybe? I don't know. I got lots of interlocking pieces here that are going to be quite nice. So, again, I've got a lot of players here. I'm trying to kind of dump a couple of them just because I don't know if I can keep all these players happy. There's a lot of players here and not a lot of playing time. If anything, I'd actually probably need to start looking defensively. I think we've got some good strikers and some good goal scorers on this team, but maybe something defensively is what we need to be looking at. I don't know if we can get another player in. I don't know if we should get another player in. But that being said, that kind of wraps up the transfer window here. I'm going to forward just a couple days because our first game here is against Fulham in just a couple days. I'm going to fast forward to that point in time. And if there's any other transfer information, I'll bring it to you. If not, I'll just sign off on the video. And just as I predicted, no changes to our team as we approach the very first game of the season. I did want to give you a little bit of a look at the season preview. We're still 1,000 to 1. Fortunately, we're also tied with Burnley and Reading at 1,000 to 1. And it looks like there's a lot more teams that are kind of hovering near us than what we had last year. Our top two players are also not in the bottom of the key players list, and Edmonds is there. And you go a little bit up, you find Guy Montgomery. So I think we've done well. So I'm pretty excited to see how this season turns out. But hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. More Taskmaster FC content coming your way very, very soon. Bye, everybody.